I accept a law school scholarship or go to a higher ranked school? This video is a follow-up to the recent question, which law school is best for fill in the blank law? Spoiler if you don't want to click back to that video right now, my answer was that it is the best, highest ranked school you can get into where you'll still be relatively happy. You'll notice that I did not say whichever school gives you the best scholarship. I know the thought of taking on 6 figures worth of loans is unbearable, especially if you're already carrying undergrad debt. But if your only goal and your sole reason for going to law school is to get a job in big law, where you're going to get a 200 something $1,000 salary, whatever ridiculous number that first years start at these days, and you have limited competing financial obligations, which will allow you to pay off your law school debt quickly when you graduate, then choosing a school outside of the T14 just because a lower ranked school gave you a scholarship is, in my opinion, short-sighted. Some of you probably hate this answer. You have a family to think about, parents you support, other debt you've incurred, whatever it is. And the thought of taking on any additional debt, even for an investment like law school, that is avoidable by accepting a scholarship is outrageous. Okay? Ignore my advice here. Seriously, if you know yourself well enough to know that the extra debt will be a constant crippling burden and distraction, or that you'll feel compelled to take on an additional job on top of law school, which distracts you from your studying and results in underperformance, then my advice should be ignored. If a higher ranked school allows you to defer a year, consider whether a year of living frugally, paying down as much of your existing debt as you can, and starting the following September would alleviate some of that burden. Or whether you're better off working for 2 or 3 years and then reapplying. Although, of course, there's no guarantee that you'll get into either school the second time around, much less that the lower ranked school will offer you any scholarship money in the future. Ultimately, you need to do what's best for you and your family. My purpose here is just to help you consider whether the golden gleam of scholarship money is diverting your attention from the longer term returns you can expect if you get a big law job in a primary or secondary legal market, and you can stick it out there for a couple years while you live responsibly and pay off all your debts. And the best path to those jobs is through a T14 school. Now, let's say that you are absolutely certain that you want to practice in a specific state, and that state school has given you a fantastic scholarship package. Let's say your whole family lives in Arizona, your fiance has a thriving business in Tempe, and you know you want to practice in Phoenix, although someday you might want to set up your own small shop in Tucson or Sedona. You can't imagine living anywhere else but Arizona. You've gotten full scholarships to ASU and U of A, both respectable schools, even though they aren't in the top 20. You've also gotten into Northwestern, one of your reach schools, but you'll need to pay full tuition and fees. Because of your goals and preferences, the calculation has changed, and free law school starts to look a lot more appealing. Some lawyers, especially the lawyers in internet forums, are obsessed with prestige. But if you can avoid succumbing to this groupthink, that you should go to the most prestigious law firm that will have you, and that all jobs outside of big law are D-list, TTT trash, you'll be a lot happier in the long run. But if you do aspire to big law, you need to understand that it is populated with lawyers who are obsessed with prestige, and the same mentality that drove them to want to practice at their particular law firm, despite every person they interviewed with looking and sounding absolutely miserable, is the same mentality that means they won't even look at resumes from law schools outside of the T14 unless it's for the grandkid of the CEO of a Fortune 100 company. There are excellent law schools outside of the T14, despite the prestige obsessed acting like anything other than Harvard or Yale is a third-tier toilet. If that phrasing is still in fashion, I might be showing my age here. If you know that you want to work in the public sector, for a nonprofit, or open up your own shop, or serve a rural community, or pursue a legal career in so many other non-big law options, scholarships can get you started off debt-free, and you'll have more money to invest in real estate or the stock market or your kid's college fund or whatever. So, should you take the scholarship? Well, maybe. Consider your short and long-term goals. Consider whether they could evolve over time. And if you can, share this video and last week's with someone you trust and talk through whether you think I'm absolutely full of it or if maybe I make some sense as applies to your particular situation. Veteran lawyers. If you confronted the choice between scholarship money and law school ranking, and you are either thrilled with your decision or you have regrets, share your hard earned wisdom in the comments. Bet this thing was bouncing the whole fucking time. Cool.